Today is June 1st, 2019. It's a Saturday. This is our 7th day in Israel, not including the day we arrived. We stopped for camel rides for those who would be leaving tonight and would not be taking the extra extension into Jordan. I went to the fruit stand that was next door, bought a small watermelon and fed it to the camel. We then loaded the bus and went to Qumran caves. These are the series of 11 caves, some natural, some man-made, in the Judean desert of the West Bank. It is in these caves that the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. The discovery of the Qumran caves was one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of all times. A young shepherd boy was throwing stones into the caves and actually found the first scroll. These were ancient manuscripts of the Old Testament written in Hebrew by scribes. There were 850 Hebrew manuscripts found in total. What you're seeing here is an ancient community of where scribes lived. The scribes were the people that actually wrote the manuscripts. They lived a life of purity with ritual baths. They washed quite a bit. Apparently they washed before meals, after meals, and many times in between. They even think that John the Baptist spent 2 years here. This is a view of the Dead Sea. At our next stop, we went swimming in the Dead Sea. I have a separate video of that. After the Dead Sea swimming adventure, we visited Masada National Park in southeast Israel. The siege of Masada by Roman troops from 73 to 74 before Christ ended in the mass suicide of 960 Jewish rebels. Masada is an ancient stone fortress in Israel located high above the Dead Sea on a tall, rocky mesa that overlooks the Dead Sea. Among the ruins are King Herod's palace. Masada has become one of the Jewish people's greatest symbols as the place where the last Jewish stronghold against the Roman invasion took place. At the beginning of the Jewish revolt against the Romans, a group of Jewish rebels overcame the Romans at Masada. The Jewish rebels held out for 3 years after the fall of Jerusalem. The Romans constructed a large ramp of thousands of tons of stone and moved a battering ram up the ramp and breached the walls of the fortress. The Jews, seeing no escape, burnt down the fortress and killed each other rather than be taken prisoner of the Romans. They then chose one man to kill the remaining and then kill himself. At this historic site, Israel soldiers swear an oath, Masada shall never fall again. In fact, former President Bush, in a trip to Israel, promised, while visiting this site, Masada shall never fall again, and America will always stand with you. We had lunch at the visitor center in the park. Our lunch consisted of white rice, chicken, spaghetti, pita bread, slaw, and lemonade. At 2:45 and at Masada, all members of our group going to Petra removed their luggage from the bus and boarded another bus. We then left Masada around 3 o'clock and we arrived at the Jordanian border at 6 o'clock p.m. We cleared customs and immigration by 7:15 and we arrived at the Doubletree Hotel at 8 o'clock p.m. and we checked in to this hotel in Aqaba, Jordan. Fred and I did do a little sightseeing. We made it to the water's edge and toured the town just a little bit there in Aqaba. It was beautiful. We walked around on the streets and checked out some of the restaurants. But after a few minutes, we decided to head back to the hotel, and we finally had dinner at the hotel. We felt a little bit safer there. But it was a beautiful city at night, and we enjoyed venturing out on our own for a few hours.